Hi everyone, Debbie here. Welcome to my channel. I thought because Mother's Day is coming up in a few days that I would just do a quick little DIY for Mother's Day. So I have this dollar store vase and it's just a very plain vase, but the outside is nice and smooth. And I wanted to glam this vase up so that I could put a little bouquet of flowers in here. And this would potentially make a great last minute gift for Mother's Day. I'm keeping this one for myself. My stepmom is in Ontario and both my mom and my mother-in-law are passed. So this one's going to be for me. I'm just going to make myself a Mother's Day vase. So I'm giving this a really good cleaning on the outside with just some rubbing alcohol and a rag. And then I'm going to set that back there to dry really well. I'm going to put a coat of paint on there, but I'm going to decoupage a napkin on the outside. So before I do the paint, I am going to go through I've got this huge big binder, and I've got napkins. I'm just wondering which one do I want to use? Which one do I want to use? Ooh, that's really pretty. Wouldn't that be pretty for Mother's Day and for spring? And I am going to pull this apart and make sure that I've got all the plies off of here. So there's one ply. I think there's another ply on there. So I keep my painter's tape handy. It's on my desk all the time because I use it for different stuff. I think this is going to... Yeah, see? So if you have a napkin piece that won't come off, stick a piece of tape to it and then just rip up the tape and that'll get it started for you. So take this apart because you only want one layer. So I'm going to take just a piece of blue paper. This is a Post-it note. I'm going to put it down here. And then I'm just going to put a white background beside it. This is just my cutting mat because it's sitting here on my desk. And I'm going to put these. So see the difference if you have a different color paint behind and then you have white paint behind. The white paint is going to make this napkin pop. So I have my napkin chosen. I'm going to set it aside. I'm going to bring back my vase and I'm just going to take some ordinary acrylic paint. It doesn't have to be chalk paint on this. And I'm going to put I'm just going to put a little paint in here. This will probably take a couple coats, but I'm going to give this a really decent coat of paint. You could use chalk paint if you wanted to on here, but honestly, chalk paint's pretty pricey, and I don't like using it if it's just a light little project like this. So I'm going to put a light coat on here because it'll dry really quick. Then I'll go back and I'll put another coat of paint on. Okay, so I have a couple coats of paint on here. And I did a final coat, and on my final coat, I just dab with my paintbrush all over, and it kind of hides the brush lines a little bit. There's no distinct lines when you do that. I'm going to wrap my napkin all the way around like this. And if I just start on one side and work my way all the way around, you can see here, my butterflies are going to overlap. And I really want a butterfly on each side. So I'm going to make another cut in my napkin like that. And I'm going to work with one piece at a time. So what's the best way to do this? I think the best way for me to do this is upside down. I'm just going to grab a pen, and I'm going to put a pen under there and a pen under there to hold that still. See? Now, I'm going to put this on here so that it's lined up at the top. I don't mind if it goes around the bottom edge a little bit. So, as tidy at the top as I can get this. And I'm going to use dishwasher safe Mod Podge. And the reason that I'm going to use this is because there's going to be water in here, and I want to be able to wipe this down or wash it. So I'm just going to put my Mod Podge right on there like that. And I'm going to very, very gently brush this out. Lots of Mod Podge on here so that I've got no drag. Now that I've got that stuck down a little bit, I can pick this up, and then I am just going to, from the center out this way, and I'm going to keep doing this till I get to the edge, like this. There, I'm quite happy with that side. There. Now I'm going to roll it back a little bit and work on the other side. And I found that the trick here is to use quite a bit of Mod Podge so that you can really brush this down but not cause any drag on the napkin so that it doesn't tear. And because I'm working from the center out evenly, like I do a little bit this way, then a little bit this way, so I'm really getting this napkin down evenly. There. So I'm going to take this and put it down the edge a little bit. I'm just going to roll it under and seal it down well so that I don't have to file this off. There. And the same with the top here. I'm going to just roll that around that top lip just a little bit. Trying to be careful not to get it on my arm. Just making sure that this is rolled around and sealed down really well. So I'm going to set this down like this so that that can dry. Then I'm going to just do the other side the exact same way. Okay, so this is still a bit tacky, but it's dry enough for me to pick up. And I am going to do the other side. So what I did for the other side, because this isn't, you can see this napkin comes from here to here. So if I had been thinking, I would have just torn this edge a little wee bit so that I didn't have that straight line, but I didn't do that. So I've measured this and it's about 5 inches. So I took this napkin and I tore it down a little bit because remember, if I don't, this is going to overlap with that one. I don't want my butterfly to overlap with the other butterfly. So I'm going to set this on here. I'm going to move it around until I know that there's space about the same between the butterfly on both sides, and then I'm going to start to Mod Podge this down. See, I'm going to have a line there, but I'm going to have to live with it. I wasn't thinking. So I should have ripped the other napkin as well on the edges, and then I wouldn't have had a nice straight line going down like that. But I don't think it's going to show too much because it's the one that's underneath. I mean, it's showing there, but not as much on this side. So I still think this is going to be really pretty. And once again, I'm just rolling this a little bit around the top. The whole point here, because this is a vase, is to make sure that it's waterproof. And the dishwasher safe Mod Podge should work fine for that. So the water is going to be on the inside. The only time there should be any on the outside is if a little bit spills when you're putting it in or when you're washing this. And this should be washable. There, that's pretty. So I'm going to let this dry really well before I put another coat, and I will do another coat, I think, of the Mod Podge just to make sure that it's waterproof. So I have a candlestick here, just a big tall one. I'm going to put my vase. I'm going to put it in my vase like this, and then just stand it up like this to allow it to dry. So I've brought you down a little bit closer, and this is dry enough for me to handle without sticking to it. It still needs to sit overnight until it'll be dry enough to use, but I absolutely love how it turned out. Now, there's hardly any wrinkles in this. I mean, it's really good. I want to glam it up just a little bit. So I thought, I've got my little bucket of stickles and pearl drops, and I thought I would try to do a little something on this. So let's see, what am I going to go with? This is the hardest part for me, finishing things up. I have these blue stickles, and I think what I'm going to do is just on this lighter blue part on the butterfly, I'm just going to add stickles. And I'm not going to put them on thick. I'm just going to brush them through here a little wee bit so that it has some glitter. Now, what stickles are is just like a glitter paint, but a really good brand of glitter paint. Like, these are going to be on here. They're already going to be sealed in, and there won't be any shedding. So I don't know if you can see that, but see the difference? See a little bit of sparkle just in that blue. So it's not much. It's very, very subtle, but it's just that tiny little hit of glitter there. And I have the white stickles as well, or they're diamond stickles. And I'm thinking just on the orange part here, I want to do a little bit as well. And I'm doing it on the bolder color on the butterflies because that color will still come through. And a lot of people don't like glitter. I get comments all the time when I put glitter on things saying it was good up to the point that you put the glitter on it. But you know what? Glitter makes me happy. And I'm making this for me. So if you don't like the glitter, that's fine as well. You just don't have to put it on. But as long as it's not the type of glitter that's going to fall off, then I think I'm fine with it. I don't like glitter fallout, but I do like the look of the glitter. So I have a little bit of sparkle there and a little bit of sparkle there. And that's all I'm going to put on here. Now this is going to look really pretty. I think I'm going to do the blue side, the blue butterfly side out with some yellow flowers in here for Mother's Day. And I think it'll look absolutely gorgeous. What do you think? I really do wish that I had have torn that bottom napkin as well. I don't know why I didn't. I usually do. Yeah, so yeah, I wasn't thinking, that's all. Because it's the stickles, that glitter will dry really, really well. Then I'll put my final coat of Mod Podge over top of this and seal everything down extra good. This is going to be ready to go. So I'm really happy that I decided to do it. I've had this little vase sitting around for a while and it was just kind of plain and I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with it. But if you want to grab some Mod Podge and a napkin and make yourself a vase, you don't need to have an actual vase to do it. You could do this same technique on the outside of just a glass. You could do it on a mason jar. You could do it on just an old pickle jar. Just take an old pickle jar and Mod Podge something on the outside of it. Fancy it up and make yourself something for the kitchen table to hold flowers. I just love having flowers in my kitchen. So if this has inspired you to grab a jar or a vase or even a glass out of your kitchen cabinet and Mod Podge a napkin onto it and turn it into something pretty to hold flowers in your kitchen, then that makes me very happy. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments if you would do this to a vase or do you just like the clear glass. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, do that now before you leave. I'll see everyone in the next one. Until then, bye-bye for now, everyone.